Hey guys, this is Captain here from Bitten Apple TV in conjunction with It Came From the Radio here at Eternal Con. Now I'm here with Frank and Chris, and you guys know how much I obviously love horror. So I want to know more for my viewers about this Zero issue, and I know you guys are going to finish the first issue very soon, but they need to know a little bit more for all my horror lovers out there. Frank or Chris, who would like to go first?
Sure. I guess I'll do it. This is kind of what I do a little bit. How's it going? I'm Chris Cassuto. Yeah. That's what he does. He's the meat on the potatoes. So what we have here, this is the Zero issue of And the Light Fades. It's a historical horror story, kind of a mix between Hammer horror films and Indiana Jones. So basically every character in here is based on these documents that were found in World War II by an American GI digging a foxhole. He cracks them open, and what does he find inside? The last pages, the last account of this ship that disappeared off the coast of Tuscany. So we took that true story of the last days of these men and we adapted it. We combined it with pre-Roman Etruscan mythology to create our supernatural thriller. This is the first 15 pages of it with our gallery of prints in the back, as you see. Some very cool, Frank, you want to show that? Some very cool, sketchy pen and ink work, very atmospheric, sort of evocative of old silent movies. And again, everything off of that is based off of this. In here we have letters home from World War II detailing how these things were found. We have all archaeological notes from the 50s. The guy who actually found the documents came back to research his findings. It's a great read. It's sort of a horror adventure story.
Okay, so what I want to know is, as you were recreating these horror adventures, were there any scary stories that you guys may have encountered that you were like, this would go great in this, I'm going to put the scene right here. That's exactly what happened to me when I was like 8. I need to know.
Scary stories that happened to us. Well, funny you should ask. Well, we're actually 2 of 3 brothers, and when growing up, each of us, when we were like 3 or 4 or something like that, we all had the same creepy dream. And it was really cool. It was always at the same age, at 3 or 4. It was a dream. Well, we thought it was a dream anyway. I don't know. That's the scary part. So imagine being paralyzed, and you're in your room, and all of a sudden it gets very, very dark. And all of a sudden it gets very, very hot, and you feel this terrible weight on your chest that you can't breathe or move. And for some reason, all the shapes in the dark are moving around. So that's probably one of the scary stories that influenced some of our horror work.
All 3 of you?
Yeah.
Had the same dream.
Oh my God, what were you thinking when that happened?
I have no idea what to think with that, but it was very strange. But I'm excited about the book because, I mean, I think it's the first of its kind to really have kind of, I wanted to make it almost like a documentary with cinema scenes, but in graphic novel form. So it's kind of like, it gives you, like we have the history book, which provides like a historical background to the whole thing, and it really goes hand in hand. So I just, I'm excited about the project. So we should be getting it done by close to the end of 2018. And, I mean, if you're a horror fan, this is definitely a book for you.
So I do have to ask you, Frank, as a creator, and you guys are looking at, everyone loves like maybe Freddy Krueger or someone loves Frankenstein. Do you have a favorite horror creature or villain, hero? I'm not, because horror gets hard to describe when someone, you're like, he's kind of a hero. Like, I don't think Frankenstein's that bad of a guy. He's just misunderstood.
I love the classics. So, I mean, the Universal monster movies were a big influence, the Hammer films. I'm not as much into the slasher films, but I mean, I love like certain horror movies from the 80s, like Fright Night, The Lost Boys. All those are, I mean, I could watch them over and over again. And I have a collection of DVDs to prove it, so.
He's got all the tapes. And you, Chris, any particular one?
Well, he's 4 years older than me, so he kind of brainwashed me throughout my childhood. I was forced to watch these things, whether I liked it or not. But myself, I mean, I always loved, like, in terms of actual horror, what's frightening to me is the unknown. So to me, like the stories of Robert E. Howard, which deal with like interdimensional creatures and stuff like that, they never really exactly go into what these things are. And to me, that's the scariest part of all. To me, that's like the essence of things like magic. That you don't really know what it is. There's no explanation, and that's why it's frightening.
I have to agree with you there. I watch like Paranormal Witness, and I sit on the edge of my seat like, oh my God, did they do that? I have like a book of like things to do and not to do, which I'm pretty sure everyone who watches Paranormal Witness does. So when it comes to the book, when you guys complete the first issue after this one, what is it that people can look forward from your protagonist and just, I guess, the journey that they really have to kind of pull themselves through?
First issue is actually kind of a longer format. It's sort of like a graphic novel. It's going to be about 75 pages. It's going to be one of 4. So it really details the journey of these men down a very, very dark supernatural path, a very isolated path, and something that I think is genuinely going to be terrifying to people.
I don't want to reveal too much, but Gothic fans of Gothic horror will be very pleased with the end result. So it's as a fan, I tried to make a project that the fans would enjoy. So, I mean, it's an exciting project for me because I just like it. It's what I always wanted to do in graphic novel form.
So for all the horror fans out there, would you guys say that the Winchesters would approve of, like, I guess the real life Winchesters making this graphic novel?
Who?
Sam Dean, I still love you. It's okay. So for those that are looking for it, they're like, okay, this is right up my alley. I want to come check this out. Where can they find you guys online?
Well, we're on Facebook and Instagram at Frank Cassuto, Cassuto Illustrations. So
www.CassutoIllustrations.com.
I love how you two work. You're running from the camera. I can see him. He's like inching away slowly. No, don't be shy. Don't be shy. I do love what you guys have here. I love the fact that you're taking something that's historical, that's true, and then kind of giving it a good twist, because I mean that's life in general. That's what happens in life. You're like, oh, this is real, and then someone twists it up. You're like, yeah, that's real too. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you guys check out this stuff. It's going to be right along with all the other horror things that you know that I love so very much. Bye.
Thank you.